Okay, let's be real for a second. How many times have you heard this line? Men love women who make them feel needed. Sounds sweet, right? It's like the ultimate romance cliché. But guess what? It's totally wrong. Here's the truth. The woman who doesn't need him at all, yeah, that's the one he can't stop thinking about. Not the one begging for attention, not the one who's always available, not the one who sends 5-paragraph essays about where this is going. Nope, it's the woman who's calm, detached, unbothered. The woman who doesn't flinch when he pulls away, who somehow just burrows into his head like a song he can't turn off. Why does this happen? Why does he fall for the woman who refuses to play the emotional victim? Why does a little independence hit a man's psychology harder than any kind of affection could? Well, this is what I call the reverse sympathy trap. And trust me, once you understand it, you'll see why the strongest emotional pull isn't built on need, it's built on mystery. Let me paint a picture for you. A guy meets 2 women in the same week. The first one, let's call her Laya. She's sweet. She laughs at his jokes, texts him back in seconds, asks if he's eaten. She gives him warmth, comfort, validation. It feels nice, like a warm bath. Now the second one, let's call her Ava. Ava's different. She listens, but she doesn't chase the conversation. She's kind, but not eager. When he cancels plans, she doesn't guilt him. She just says, "Cool, I'll make other plans." And suddenly, his brain does something stupid. He starts thinking about her, not because she gave him more, but because she gave him less. He starts wondering, what's she doing? Who's she seeing? Does she even care? He starts falling not for her attention, but for her indifference. That's the reverse sympathy trap. She never begged for his love, and that's exactly why he starts offering it freely. The hidden mechanism here? Sympathy versus mystery. Here's the psychology behind it. Men are biologically wired to protect, fix, and rescue. It's built into their masculine ego. But modern dating? Well, modern dating turned that natural instinct into a trap. When a woman acts needy, desperate, or emotionally dependent, his brain doesn't register romantic connection. Nope, it registers responsibility. He feels sympathy, not attraction. And sympathy? Well, it's a short-term emotion. It burns out the moment the guilt phase passes. But flip the script. When a woman seems self-contained, emotionally stable, and non-reactive, his brain starts sensing something completely different: mystery. He starts wondering, how is she fine without me? And that question is like a mental hook. Because men aren't addicted to affection. They're addicted to uncertainty. The reverse sympathy trap works because it rewires his instincts. Instead of feeling like her savior, he starts feeling like her student. Instead of pity, he feels curiosity. Instead of comfort, he feels challenge. And let me tell you, curiosity, that's the oxygen of male desire. Addiction trigger number 1, the challenge loop. Every man secretly craves a mission. Not an easy one, not a guaranteed win, a challenge. That's why things like video games, business, and competition keep men hooked. They're built on progress tension. There's always space between almost winning and not quite. Now, in relationships, the woman who plays the sympathy card, she kills that tension instantly. Why? Because she already won her attention. There's no game left to play. But the woman who's not impressed by his jokes, who doesn't bend her plans around his schedule, who smiles, says maybe, and walks away, she creates the challenge loop. He feels a gap, and his ego wants to close it. So what does he do? He starts trying harder, saying more, doing more. And the wild part is, he calls it chemistry. But it's not chemistry. It's competition disguised as desire. That's why the reverse sympathy trap works like emotional jujitsu. She uses his own masculine programming against him. The harder he tries to earn what's not easily given, the deeper he invests. And the deeper he invests, the stronger his attachment becomes. Addiction trigger number 2, the respect before love sequence. Here's something men rarely admit. They don't fall in love first. Nope, they fall in respect first. A man can't feel romantic attachment for someone he doesn't admire. And admiration? That comes from distance, not closeness. When a woman's world doesn't revolve around him, when she has her own direction, standards, and boundaries, his brain subconsciously classifies her as rare. He doesn't think, she needs me. He thinks, I need to level up to deserve her. That's the reverse sympathy trap in action. She doesn't seek his validation. She forces him to seek hers. Respect comes before love. And love built on respect doesn't fade easily, because now every compliment she gives feels earned. Every moment she shares feels granted. And men value what they have to earn, not what's freely given. Addiction trigger number 3, the emotional reversal. When a man meets a woman who radiates independence, something strange happens in his subconscious. He starts to feel what women often feel around confident men, a loss of control. He starts chasing emotional equilibrium. He wants to win back that feeling of power. But here's the catch. The more he tries to impress her, the less power he feels. Why? Because she doesn't flinch. She doesn't impress by effort. She gets impressed by authenticity. So he starts lowering his walls, showing real emotion, trying to connect on a deeper level. And the woman who started with less need, she ends up getting more depth from him. That's the final turn of the reverse sympathy trap, the switch from external validation to internal vulnerability. All right, now that you know what the reverse sympathy trap is, let's break down how it actually works in real life. And trust me, once you get this, you'll start seeing how it plays out in relationships, whether you're already in one or just looking at how guys behave around you. You see, this trap isn't some big secret. It's a game, but it's a game that's being played every day by men and women without anyone even realizing it. The biggest mistake women make in relationships: they chase. They're always looking for validation. They send texts trying to get attention. They plan their whole schedule around him. They put him first, even when he doesn't do the same for them. But here's the kicker. This is the exact thing that kills attraction. Why? Because when you chase, you're signaling to him that you need him to feel whole. You're not giving him a challenge. You're not giving him a reason to want to chase you back. But when you pull back, when you stop needing his attention, that's when he starts to feel the pull. And let me tell you, men can't resist a woman who isn't constantly trying to win his approval. It's that simple. Let me show you how this works in action. Picture this. You're on a date. He's talking about his day. You listen. You nod. You laugh at his jokes. But then he says something like, "You're really hard to impress." Most women would either get embarrassed and say something like, "No, I'm just chill," or try to prove they're impressed by saying, "You're really interesting." But here's what you need to do instead. Stay calm, don't flinch, don't get defensive. Just give a small, knowing smile and say, "Maybe I'm just waiting for you to impress me." Boom. You just flipped the switch. You're no longer the one chasing his approval. You've just created a gap for him to try harder. And trust me, that's when his brain starts going wild.
The reverse sympathy trap in action isn't about being cold or playing hard to get. It's about calmly detaching from the need for constant validation. When you do this, he starts wondering why you're not begging for his attention. He starts thinking, what's so special about her? Why doesn't she need me the way other women do? And here's the truth. You're not playing a game. You're just choosing when to give your attention. And that creates mystery. When a man is used to women chasing him, giving him constant validation, he's addicted to that easy attention. But when a woman doesn't give it to him so easily, he wants it, and he wants to work for it. And this is where the challenge loop kicks in. Every man secretly craves a challenge. It's not a game, it's just how he's wired. He doesn't want things to be easy. He wants the chase. He wants to feel like he's earned it. If you give him everything too quickly, the chase is over. The game is done. But if you keep a little bit of mystery, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that says, I'm okay without you, but I'd love for you to prove I should want you, he'll chase you. And trust me, it works every time.